A reading from Stuart's second letter to the Corinthians. A few years ago, I called a cab to take me somewhere. I don't remember the destination. I think I was in New York City at the time. The driver came, picked me up. I told him where to go and we departed. On the way there, he received a phone call. Upon answering, he immediately became enraged and started screaming, threatening the person on the other end of the line in Spanish. I couldn't understand what he was saying, but it was clear that he was inconsolably furious. After a few minutes of the exchange, he hung up and apologized for the disturbance. I told him not to worry about it, and asked what the conversation was about. His ex-wife, he explained, had taken his son away from him, and he was no longer able to see the child. You better be careful, he told her, because one day God is going to get you. I still feel like this must be the only reasonable explanation behind why anyone would believe in something like a higher power. a deity, etc. Because one day, something is going to get all of you. This is a word according to Stewart. Go and do thou likewise.
Southeastern New England, in an area extended from Providence, Rhode Island, through southeastern Massachusetts, including Cape Cod to Boston. This concentration began with the organization of a Portuguese Jewish congregation and later the establishment of the sperm oil industry in Newport, Rhode Island, during the last half of the 18th century. In the early 19th century, the focus of whaling shifted to nearby New Bedford, Massachusetts. The employment of young Azoreans in the whaling industry, New Bedford became the focus of Portuguese immigration as the town became the leading whaling port. From New Bedford, the Portuguese spread to other New England coastal ports. Sizable Portuguese communities developed in Newport, Rhode Island, the ports on Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard Islands, Providencetown on Cape Cod, the Boston metropolitan area, and Gloucester to the northeast. In these towns, they engaged in whaling, as well as other maritime activities, including cod fishing. During the last 2 to 3 decades of the 19th century, as the whaling industry diminished and industrialization became a more important component of urban growth, Portuguese immigration increased significantly. New immigrants were attracted by employment in the textile factories in the industrial towns of southeastern New England. New Bedford provided substantial industrial employment, but other large Portuguese communities developed around the textile factories in nearby Fall River and Providence, as well as in the industrial towns around Boston, including Cambridge, Somerville, and Lowell. Portuguese settlements during the middle of the 19th century were found on opposite coasts of the United States. The Atlantic coast in southern New England and on the Pacific coast, the San Francisco Bay Area, and in Hawaii. Although these Portuguese communities were not large, their common link was the whaling industry, which was dominated by ports in southern New England, especially New Bedford, Massachusetts, the leading whaling port after 1830. Until the 1870s and 1880s, when this whaling enterprise ceased to be profitable, the several hundred Portuguese who had settled in Hawaii and the San Francisco Bay Area were also involved in the whaling industry. Most of them had been sailors on whaling ships. They eventually settled in a number of coastal whaling stations where migrant whales were spotted and pursued. The importance of whaling industry during the middle of the 19th century is reflected by this innovative thematic map prepared by Matthew Fontaine Morgan, an American naval officer and oceanographer. Collecting data from various sources, including logs from whaling ships, he compiled a map showing the distribution of different species of whales, identifying each with a combination of pictorial and color symbols. The pink color associated with the sperm whale, which has the basis of New England whaling trade, shows one concentration in the North Pacific between Hawaii and the California coast. Portuguese settlement in southeastern New England can be traced to Newport, Rhode Island, during the colonial period in the 1850s. In the 1850s, several Portuguese Jews moved to Northport, New York City, after seeking refuge in Holland and then Recife, Brazil, when the Dutch had control of that area. These exiles were joined by 90 Jews from Puerto Rico, synagogue, the oldest extant synagogue in the United States. In addition, he and his associates introduced the sperm oil industry to the park. He built his own fleet of whalers and merchantmen that sailed the Atlantic searching for whales. The busy and prosperous port of Newport is depicted on a Revolutionary War aircraft. Lopez's Wharf is identified near the center of that harbor area, and the synagogue is marked under the K. With the shift of the whaling industry from Newport, Rhode Island to New Bedford, Massachusetts during the first half of the 19th century, the latter community became the focus of Portuguese immigration and settlement. In fact, New Bedford was eventually known as the Portuguese capital of the United States. At the beginning of the 20th century, New Bedford was a town with the largest Portuguese population, counting 7,300 first-generation Portuguese and 4,600 Americans born of Portuguese descent. The total constituted 60% of the city's entire population. The vast majority of Portuguese residents came from the Azores, reflecting their early involvement in the whaling industry. After completing one or more whaling voyages, many remained in New Bedford, settling in the southern and western sections of the town. This area was known as Fayal, deriving its name from one of the islands in the Azores where many of the kingdoms had previously lived. Following the decline of the whaling industry in the 1870s and 1880s, Azoreans continued to settle in New Bedford, finding employment in the city's burgeoning cotton textile industry. New Bedford and its harbors are depicted on this 1846 coastal and geodetic survey chart, documenting the importance of coastal locations for the whaling trade. Charts such as this, which were first published in the 1840s by this new federal agency, aided in the safe navigation of the United States coastal waters. New Bedford's Portuguese community, which was predominantly Catholic, as were the populations in both the Azores and mainland Portugal, was large enough by the middle of the 20th century to support 3 churches and 2 parochial schools. Here, a nun teaches a geography lesson as she points to Portugal on the globe. Several important places' names written both in English and Portuguese are on the blackboard. Provincetown, where the Pilgrims first landed at the northeastern tip of Cape Cod, is the American community with the largest percentage of Portuguese residents in its population. They started to settle in Provincetown in the 1850s, and by the 1880s, constituted 1/3 of the town's population, of 6,000. By the middle of the 20th century, they comprised an absolute majority of the town's residents. Throughout the 19th century and the first half of the 20th century, the town's primary economic activity was fishing. By the beginning of the 20th century, Portuguese fishermen dominated this industry. Provincetown's maritime location and its role as fishing port are dramatically portrayed in this early 20th century panoramic view. The town's historical significance is also noted, with the monument commemorating the Pilgrims' Landing prominently displayed in the middle of the town, while Plymouth is shown in the distant back.
Alla finestra, out the window. Migration to the window, the unfreedom inside the window. Alla finestra, out the window. Behold the convenience of a life's work, a cure to cure the valid, and laughter to distance ourselves from what we say, which has anything but truth. And if any truth, it being only our exaggerations. The shadows of strange lives in the half-light. Alla finestra, out the window. Remind us to forget that answer. We are jealous of others, rude to waiters, dirty communities, collections, for someone more composed than you, and a virtue more vile than sin. The beggar's one-sided sociability, our flying, our reprobation, the misers, education's not difference, that we work out. We understand the arbitrary it hardens us. How can I surrender myself to so many things? Strange to wait the first morning I had died. Despise the private observations. I platitude. You cause me to know something between us. But father's traits, good living, doses, in the face, crimes, and my mother's chin, everything for me, and somehow represent the sharpest details of the real world. Alla finestra, out the window. Migration to the window. Beyond freedom, inside the window. Alla finestra, out the window. Behold the convenience of life's work, a cure to cure the valid, and laughter to distance ourselves from what we say, which has anything but truth, and if anything, no exaggerations. The shadows of strange lives in the half-light. Alla finestra, out the window. Remind us to forget that answer. We are jealous of others, rude to waiters, dirty movies, collections for someone more composed than you, and a virtue more vile than sin. The beggar's one-sided sociability, our fawning, our appropriation, the misers. Petrification is not indifference. It is better to be a doorkeeper in the house of the Lord. We understand the arbitrary course of events hardens us. How can I surrender myself to so many at once? Strange to wait in the first morning I had died, I told myself, out the window. Disguise the crime with observations. I'm in the lap of a corroding platitude. It caused me to know something. Petrified and unfreedom, alive but not living. Alla finestra, out the window. A father's traits, good living, reduced to doses,
The shadows of
initials,
strange lives in the
charms
half-light.
on my mother's chain,
Alla finestra,
everything for
out the
show,
window.
and somehow represent
Remind
the
us
sharpest
to forget
details
that answer.
of the real world.
We are
Openings
jealous
and
of
cells,
others,
tiny
rude
holes,
to waiters,
but
dirty
impenetrable,
movies,
compact,
collections, for
all
someone more
of
composed
those
than you,
things.
and a virtue more vile than sin. The beggar's
Alla
one-sided
finestra,
sociability,
out the window.
our fawning,
Migration
our
to the window,
approbation,
the
the
unfreedom
misers.
inside the window.
Petrification is
Alla
not indifference.
finestra, out the
It is
window.
better to be a doorkeeper in the house
Behold
of
the
the Lord.
convenience of a life's work.
We
a cure to
understand the
cure
arbitrary
valid,
course of events.
and laughter to distance
It hardens
ourselves from
us.
what we say.
How can I
which
surrender
has
myself to
anything
so
but
many
truth.
at once?
And if any truth,
Strange to
it
wake
being
the first
only our
morning I had died.
exaggerations,
I told
the
myself,
shadows of strange
out
lives
the
in
window.
half-light. alla
disguise the
finestra,
crime
out
with
the window.
observations.
Remind us
I'm in
to
the
forget
lap of a
and
corroding
answer.
platitude. You
We
caused
are
me to know somewhat
jealous of others,
the dead present
rude
between
to
us,
waiters, dirty
petrified
memes,
in
collections,
unfreedom,
for someone more
alive
composed
but
than
not
you,
living,
and a virtue more
a
vile
la
than sin.
finestra, out
The
the
beggar's
window,
one-sided sociability,
a
our
father's
fawning,
traits,
our reprobation,
good living,
the
reduced to
misers.
doses,
Petrification is not
initials,
indifference.
charms
it is
on
better
my
to be a
mother's
doorkeeper
chain,
in the house of the Lord.
everything for show,
We understand
and
the
somehow
arbitrary
represent the
course of
sharpest
events.
details
It hardens
of the
us.
real world,
How can I surrender
openings and
myself to so
cells,
many at once?
tiny holes,
Strange to wait the
but
first morning I had
impenetrable,
died, I told myself
compact,
out the window.
all at first glance.
Disguise the crime with observations. I'm in the lap of
A la
a corroding
finestra,
platitude.
out
You
the
caused me to
window,
know somewhat the dead
migration
present
to the
between us.
window, the
Petrified and
unfreedom inside the window,
alive but not
a la
living.
finestra,
Alla finestra,
out the
out the
window.
window.
Behold the
A father's
convenience of a
traits,
life's work,
good living,
a cure to cure
reduced
the
to
valid,
doses, initials,
and laughter to
charms
distance
on my
ourselves
mother's
from what we
chain.
say,
Everything
which is
for
anything but
show,
truth,
and somehow
and if any
represent the
truth,
sharpest
it being
details
only our
of the real
exaggerations,
world.
the shadows of
Openings
strange
and
lives
cells,
in the half-light,
tiny holes,
a la
but
finestra,
impenetrable,
out the window.
compact, all
Remind
at
us
first
to
glance.
forget that answer. We are jealous of others, rude to waiters, dirty movies, collections, for someone more composed than you, and a virtue more vile than sin. The beggar's one-sided sociability,
Alla finestra,
our
out the
fawning,
window.
our approbation,
Migration to the
the
window.
misers.
The unfreedom inside
Petrification
the
is not
window.
indifference.
Alla
It is
finestra,
better to
out
be
the
a
window.
doorkeeper in the house of the Lord.
Behold the convenience
We
of a life's
understand the
work,
arbitrary
a
course of
cure
events.
to cure the valid,
It hardens
and
us.
laughter.
Support Satan. In the foreground, the Star of David, veins, embroidered in it's a black and white reproduction. Figure is being attacked by birds from the birds, the way they're coming into the picture is triangular in the composition. The figure at the center is flanking and sort of taking up the entire bottom. The treatment of the forest has a quality of Japanese ink drawings. The trees have the trees kind of almost spell things with their little squiggle branches. But there's the big sign that says "Support Satan" is hung off a tree that's very close in the foreground. I can't remember what that word is called. And something is almost like a shadow that takes up the entirety of it's like it becomes a form. This artist, I believe, has some connection with esoteric groups, sort of theosophical things. Was it involved in the nubbies? Nubbies? It's now generally believed that the priestly costume in which Franz was depicted was a fictional garment created by the artist. Christian reference. The beautiful, that same, is it, the sun, well, it's hard to say if it's the sun or the moon. It's rising in the distance, a very idealized mountain top. Let's see. It's done in the 1890s, watercolor. And I guess if you were in Milan, so it's somewhere there. Support Satan. Support Satan. Christ and Buddha, sorceress, aluminum prayer, astrology. And I've worked based on the sign of Mercury relates to an episode in the story of Rama. This is what I remember. This is all from
Die Nacht und die Nacht der Nacht und die Takter der Nacht und die Takter der Nacht, der Tag und der Sonn des Tages und der Sonn des Sonnes des Tages und der Sonn des Sonnes des Tages, der Sonn und der Takter und aller ihre Verwandten, sie blicken auf das geschmückte Paar, sie blicken auf den Sohn und die Tochter des Sohnes und der Tochter des Sohnes und der Tochter, und es wird Tag, Nieden, und Nieden, und Dagen, ein Dagen, und Nieden, und Nieden, Dagen, Degen, an Dagen, und Nieden, Dagen.
University of Pennsylvania, he still has a research institute's name on it. When Jefferson did the Louisiana Purchase, guys, Meriwether Lewis used to come to that house to be tutored by the doctor after what they might see and find when they went out west. Well, on the right again is Old St. Mary's Cemetery, 1763. The Congress of Congress used to come to this church to pray for guidance because they were doing things right. Now, there's a lot of famous people buried out the back, including John Barry. Who the heck's John Barry, guys? Probably what I call him the most famous American nobody ever heard of. John Barry is the father of the American Navy. He is the first captain of the American Navy. Operating the American Navy. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. Pounds, 106 words. He's immortal. That's not
Let's go. Let's go.
Father of American surgery. One of the first men in America for surgery. Absolutely beautiful home. Love colonial stuff.
J'entends. Sabrou. Là, de ce cœur à gauche. Le castan. Le train le hill. Là. Tout ça. Got notice. Super. Niente so. Come qua.
Choisi de chier, comme il aurait choisi de vivre, au lieu de construire. Il aurait fallu consentir à ne pas. Toujours et du feu, et pas de merde. L'homme a eu peur de perdre la merde. Ou plutôt, il a désiré la merde. Et pour cela, il a sacrifié le sang. Pour remplacer de la viande, là où il n'y a pas de sang, et de la ferraille d'ossement, où il n'y avait pas un damier d'être. Et où il n'y avait qu'à perdre la vie. Oh, modo, togliere,